Alright, hello everybody. I believe we got this up and running now. The encoder was not communicating to the, what do you call this, the YouTube Live app. Anyways, I'm trying to pull up my chat box here so I can see what's going on. Looks like we have Frank in the house. Possibly. Let's see here. I do have that up and running. Okay, because we have 8 people watching. Okay. So we're having some technical slowdown here. I'm trying to get my chat up on my little antique iPod so I can see. That's the thing, is I have to tune into my own chat. Here we go. So we're going to be tying some mop flies today. James is in the house. Good evening. We'll go ahead and say hiya. Alright, so now we can go back to our bench and tie ourselves a fly. And there we go. This is our mop fly. How about that? I really don't remember the last time we tied this out at Project Healing Waters. I'm sure it's been a little while. If I remember correctly, it was probably sometime last summer. Anyways, I just got a big old mess on my bench today, and I don't know, the thing is it's starting to get really nice outside. And you know, earlier today I spent some time doing my neighbors' yards. Did not even do my own yard. So this is a mop fly, and you know, the thing of it is it can be tied in many different ways, and you know, imagination is your only limitation when it comes to a mop fly, because you know, there's some of the hoity-toity fly tyers that will just lose their mind when it comes to the mop fly and say it's not even a fly. But I think it is. I think this is a fun pattern. How's it going, Josh? And we got NC Doc 1 Hundo. What's going on? Thanks for tuning in. This is our Project Healing Waters fly tying special. We've been at this for about 7 weeks now, 7-8 weeks. We used to go out to the St. Cloud VA hospital and volunteer with Project Healing Waters. It's where I got my start, and it's where I hope to continue to go back and continue to teach my fellow disabled veterans. So we used to meet every Wednesday, rain or shine. Remember that big polar vortex a couple winters ago? Yep. We still met. The dashboard on my truck said it was like negative 30 something, and that was pretty ridiculous. So, anywho, let's see here. We'll give it a few more minutes. Give some people a chance to jump in and say hi. Forgot I had this capability on my screen. I got my cup of coffee, and we are good to go for an evening of tying flies. The mop fly is, I'll try not to bounce around, the camera likes to track my face. The mop fly is a very good fly. It's basically depending on where you harvest the material off of, it's either comes from a car wash mitt, or pretty popular for the bright colors. Let's get that out. So we'll go off from my little color scheme. I have to hold it right in my front of my face. But these are the different colored mop fly bodies that I have. My wonderful wife, Jess, was just awesome to sort these all out. So I kind of have an orange, purple, tan, chartreuse, blue, yellow, kind of a flaming hot Cheeto color, pink, a darker blue, and that tan. And we're going to be tying with the tan tonight, at least to start. Um, I don't know. I like the tan because I think it represents and resembles what's called a crane larva. Um, and actually, the tan and the lighter colors are sometimes harder to find. It's easy to find the bright colored ones because those are pretty typical at your auto parts store, etc., etc. But keep your eye open. Don't pay too much for the material unless you know that's the color I must absolutely have. So, how we doing, Steve Trybowski? Good evening. Can't stay. He has got grandpa duty. So, hey, check out this live stream tomorrow. That's the beautiful thing about it. So, anyways, let's go ahead and tie some flies. What do you say? We'll get this camera switched over, and there you have it. See ya. All right, so with our mop, we are tying this. Not too big, not too small, in my humble opinion. So when I say not too big, not too small, I'm referring to a size 10. And I'm using a size 10 scud hook. And what I like about the scud hook is the curve. You could do it with the straight shank hook. However, I like it with the curved hook. Alright, so there's our hook. And as you can see on that first one, we actually had our bead on there. So let's go ahead and get our bead on. Alright, bead, I am using a 3.2 millimeter. I got it labeled as a size 10 to 12. You know, if you get these little containers, it's always good to just not only reference your actual material size, but go ahead and label how in the world you're going to use it. So, I like to throw my hook up, and we have the big side and the small side of our bead, and we're going to go small side first, so that way when it's all said and done with, there we go. It's not going to fall off or go past the eye of the hook. And what we're going to use for our thread is I have a red A-dot. And I didn't want to go too big with my thread, so we're going to start small. Start right behind that bead. We'll go ahead and lock that in. And when it comes to, yeah, well, like I said at the beginning, when it comes to the mop fly, imagination's your limitation. There's no right or wrong way to tie a mop fly. I don't think so. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay a nice little red thread base along the shank of the hook. And you know what? I'm not worried about locking that bead in before I tie this fly. Sometimes I think, why? So I'm not too worried about getting this laying down too super flat. Not like our previous one, not like that Patriot. Alright, so a little thread base, just like that. And what you could do is you could go ahead and add a little drop of Sally Hansen's or something just to give that thread just a little added protection. And I'm going to throw a little bit of UV resin on mine for now. And it doesn't need to be too bananas. Any kind of, head cement or something to give our little red thread just a little bit of protection. And I'm not going to necessarily put my resin all the way up to the back of the bead, because I'm focusing just on this back half, if you will. You'll see where we're getting to. Yeah, I tied one earlier, and Sally Hansen's works just fine. But being quick, fast, and in a hurry, at least on this first one, I don't mind the weight on the Sally Hansen's. And in fact, we'll do that on the next one. We'll actually compare the two. So there we have it. We have our little red underbody. That's actually going to end up being our tag end. And for our mop, like I said, I believe this one was harvested off of a rug. I believe I bought a rug at our local bargain center, Gopher's Bargain Center. Bargain is in our name. Anyways, they get all this kind of stuff at discount when stores and junk are going out of business and whatnot, and I think I paid like $3 for a whole rug or something like that, and I've given probably more away than I'll ever use, but anyways, so this would be the side that would be attached to the rug or the material or whatever, and these little nubs, these little chenille nubs, and the thread comes up and it comes around, so the end of the nub doesn't come undone, but this end, it does. So we're going to strip our mop body material down just a little bit until we get to the inner threads. And this one has 1, 2, 3, 4. Because all it is it's a piece of chenille twisted up and then twisted back in on itself. And what we're going to do is we're going to tie that in up front. Make sure we get it locked in. Working my way back. I'm going to take a couple of wraps underneath, and there we have it. I wasn't concerned about the little tag ends on that. I just kind of let that fold in and around and become part of the fly itself. All right, up next we have some peacock. Now what you could do for your collar, you could do anything. This time I am going to just throw some peacock herl in there, and maybe next time we might do some dubbing. Like I said, with the mop fly, imagination is your limitation. It's your only limitation. A couple summers ago I knew a guy who basically exclusively fished the mop flies all summer long. So 1, 2, 3 peacock herls in there. Just like that. And we're going to just twist these together and wrap these on. Pinch them together, twist them forward. Hackle pliers work. These little hook and hackle plier things are just absolutely great. I wish I had 6 of them. Oh wait, I do. I'm going to wrap this back. Build that up a little bit. Continue to twist as we wrap. Because you know what? I paid for this whole peacock herl. I might as well use it today. Today's the day. Kind of some junk peacock herl actually, so good place to hide it. Good place to use it. Alright. A few wraps behind, a few wraps in front. Alright. So now at this point, look at how concerned I am about that bead sliding and riding around. Not much at all, right? Alright, let's go ahead and just trim that off. Alright, so for my hackle, it came out of a whiting hackle sample pack, and this is all a hen hackle. And I think this one will be as good as any. Alright, so we want to prepare this a little bit. And we're only going to wrap on this a few times, but it's always a good habit to just prepare your material and get all that junk out of there. Get it out of the way. Alright. So, as we saw before in our sample, we got some flare out with our hackle, but we don't want to go too big. So, we're going to tie this in by the tip. Alright, so we're going to grab it by the tip of that feather. We're going to carefully, without stripping it, we're going to just coax those back. And the reality is you can kind of see that from, where did my bodkin go? About from here to here is about the part we're going to use. So let's go ahead and tie this bad mamma jamma in. Right up front behind the bead. Just like so. Alright, go ahead and just trim off that tip of that feather. Alright, so here's our front of the feather. We're just going to take this and we're just going to wrap it behind. Maybe once. Pinch and fold these back. Right, there's two. And I think that's just going to be it right there. 2 turns. That's what we call a 2-turn hackle. I don't know. I just made that up. Call it what you want. You know what we forgot to do? A belated hackle time. Not in my rhythm here. Look at that. Alright, and with our red thread, whatever we do get up front, we're just going to get a little red collar. Just like that, we have ourselves a mop fly ready for action. In fact, we are going to add a little dab of secret sauce on this one. So we got our little legs and all sorts of fun little things going on. And you know, like I said, you can make this as complicated or as simple as you want it. It's a mop fly, forget about it. So who do we have in the house tonight? I see we got 8 of us watching. I saw Josh and Steve and Frank and James. What is going on? So I will be getting in touch with my Project Healing Waters crew here probably this weekend, actually. Making no contact delivery runs. Deliver some materials out to the boys, if you will. So there you have it. That is our that's our mop fly. What do you think? Josh says, when I'm watching YouTube, my daughter says hackle time when she hears the bell. I have. Good. That's what I'm talking about. Let's see. Can I get some dramatic lighting? How's that? I don't know. Is that any better, any worse? What do you guys think? I don't know. Hey, Joe. Thanks for tuning in. But that's going to be our first mop fly of the night. Let's, I don't know if I like this automatic zoom on the camera, because I can come over here. It goes over there. Shift over here. It's weird. Hands free. It's crazy stuff. I wish I could do that. Alright, let's go ahead and do another one. I'm going to take a quick sip of coffee, slurp it up, and we'll get everything reset for Joe, because he's just tuning in. Alright, let's do it. I feel like my vice's angle's not... Something doesn't look 100% square. Nope, this is a wet fly. Wet all day long. We are going to use a scud hook, which is it's a heavier wire hook than just your standard dry fly hook, if you will. And we're gonna throw a, where we go, a 3.2 millimeter gold bead on the front of this one. And again, we have our big side of our bead and our small side of our bead, the opening on the hole. I guess the big side would just have a taper to help it get past the bend on these hooks. So just like that, that's the nifty, easy way to get your bead on your hook method. I figure we got this nice vise. It's pretty good at holding stuff, so why not use it? Alright, there we have it. And bonus for the beginners, where's my, I just got distracted. Throwing a bead on there, it makes it easy to not overcrowd the eye of the hook. I'm looking for some raw mop bodies. I think I took those all out. Flutter yarn, mayfly, mop fly tails, mayfly tails, pens, markers, popper bodies. I don't know where the raw ones went, but anyways, they come in all shapes of, not all different shapes, but all different colors, and I guess different shapes. You know what? If we're lucky, we can tie a teeny tiny one. There we go. I'm not gonna mess with the zoom function on this camera right now, but it comes in different colors. I've collected them over the years, and I've got them just in these little containers. Jess, my wife, was so wonderful and helped me stuff these all in there. And they come from car wash mitts, or a mop. That's where they get their name, the mop fly, M-O-P. And you can get them at the hardware store, or at the car auto parts stores, or you have to keep your eye open for them. And don't pay more than a few dollars for it. If you pay top dollar for it, it kind of, I don't know, it kind of defeats the purpose of it. So go ahead and find yourself a little piece of that somewhere and go bananas. I like the chartreuse, and I really like these tan ones because I kind of a caddis, not a caddis, but a crane fly larva imitation. But around here, the panfish just go bananas for it. You want to catch a crappie, throw a mop. You want to catch a sunny, throw a mop. You want to catch a bass, throw a mop. You want to catch a trout, throw a mop. Don't tell nobody though. It's kind of like I don't know, riding a moped. You know, it's fun, but you don't want to brag about it too much. All right, let's go ahead and lay our little red base, red thread base, front to back. So let me go at an angle there, because guess what? That tip of that hook right there is gonna just destroy this thread if it comes into contact. Destroy. So I had a great day today. I went out, mowed my neighbor's lawn. I got two neighbors. I do their lawns in addition to my lawn. One neighbor lady, I don't know, like at the beginning of the season, she's like, "How much do you want?" I'm like, $10. Said, "Oh, Aaron, that's not enough." So she pays me my $10 and gives me really nice tips. And I have another neighbor. He is a Korea War veteran. I've been helping him out over the last couple of months as we've been getting into spring. We're going to add a little dab of insurance policy. On the first one, we added some bone dry, but we're just going to add some insurance policy here. Some Sally Hansen's. And it's not going to take much. Just one little drop on there, right off the brush. Because guess what we're going to do? We're going to just work that into that thread. You know where that's going? I don't know. It's just a little bit of extra. We got Billy B.A. in the house. What's going on, Billy? Where'd my bodies go? Alright, so with our mob fly bodies, imagine if you will, this was attached to a rug and there's thousands of them all lined up in a row. And sometimes you have to trim off the backing and stuff, but you know, with some patience, you can sit there and you can just harvest these bodies all afternoon and just keep coming and just trimming those out. What bodkin is that? You've been thinking about making a couple. The bodkins are just that homemade bodkins made by one Mr. David Coleman. He may or may not be watching. I do have them available on my website as part of my kits. I have a couple kits available if you want. Check those out. Otherwise, I'll be more than happy to get you in contact with Dave himself, and you guys can negotiate back and forth. But he does a great job making them. I think this is, yeah, I can tell. This one's bamboo. And this was my typical Project Healing Waters one because I added a little green dot, and I have a walnut. I believe that's a walnut. Josh Anderson can correct me. I'm not 100% certain on wood species yet. And I have another bamboo. So I keep my dark one I use for liquid when I'm using adhesives and junk, and my bamboo one I just use for poking around, and then a couple other ones. There's my little holder. A couple of my guys are going to be getting these bodkin holders, making a few of them for my Project Healing Waters folks. I have to finish up. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 more. They come in my meal kits that I've been getting in the mail. So anyways, what we got? Steve Hartman's in the house. Howdy, Steve. How are you? I'm kind of glad are you back on East Coast, or are you stuck out there West Coast in it? Alright, so here's the tail, the end of it. If we strip on that end, nothing comes off. We strip on this side, and it comes off quite easy. You know what? Just for demonstration purposes, we'll kind of... You can, if you want a shorter mop body, you can make it a little bit shorter. So now we get... Almost looks like an LED with the little leads sticking out. But let's go ahead and just tie that in. And I just keep all that thread in there, work it in, fold it back, tie it down, don't bother with scissors. At that point, who cares, it's a mop fly. So there's our little tail just kind of sitting up loud and proud, and I don't know, if you lay it completely flat, just a tick past, maybe a hook scap past the, it's very proportionate. Back east, cleaning the shop. I'm first on the to-do list. Awesome. That'd be nice. So if anybody's curious, Steve Hartman is the woodworker who has made my fly tying box, my case. The Project Healing Waters guy, I got his logo right here. Hartman Woodworking. Excellent woodworking products. Came up with my little design for my travel box for my Regal Vice, and if you've been a local Project Healing Waters participant, Steve Hartman is the guy that made it for me. Alright, so where are we at? We're going to add our peacock. You know what? Maybe we're not going to do peacock. Maybe let's do a little bit of dubbing. Let's go... I like this bright green. What is this? This is a caddis green. So I think with that we're going to have to add a little touch of wax. We'll do that in 3D. Whoa! Alright, so what do we know about dubbing? How much is more? less. Less is more. Repeat with me now. Sparse is narse. Look at that, just a little dabble dubbus. Let's work that on our... Now remember, we kind of want this, I don't know, not too tiny, not too sparse. We want to make a little bit of a bump there. Look at that, perfect. Fantastic. End up with our thread directly behind our bead. Now we can add our hackle. So yeah, this is just a hen hackle. Let's see, we added the green. Let's go with something maybe perhaps a little bit darker. So I got some options here. If I go with this side, they're way bigger. If I come over here, they're just a wee bit smaller. I think that one will do us just fine. All right. Let's go ahead and prepare this. I like to use the remainder of that that quill as a handle. So we'll just manhandle that off, strip it. It's kind of like, I don't know, I got this thing. I don't eat too many bananas, but when I do eat bananas, or somebody gives me a banana to peel or whatever, I take the banana and I get real zen. I close my eyes and I get myself in the mood. I just snap it real quick. Being able to snap and break a banana, I don't know, it's kind of empowering. Call me weird. I know you will. So anyways, I got out the other day and actually did some fishing. I got out to my little secret lake and I caught my first sunny. First fish of the season. It was a fun little sunny. And then, lo and behold, a few casts later, I had a small largemouth on. Wasn't targeting. I'm going for the crappie. I'm going for the sunnies. And I was testing out my Tenkara rod that I received for Christmas. Here we are, 5 months into the year, and I get to play with my Christmas present. All right, we'll trim off that tip. Let's go ahead and Steve does have a set of tools that actually fit my toolbox better than my tools fit mine, because what happened is I sent my design to Steve, and I said, these are the tools that I want to fit in. And the thing about the tools, they're handmade, and no two are identical in size. And what had happened is my box got built to fit a certain set of tools, and when I went to put in another certain set of tools, now put them in your hands will never know the difference. But when you have something exactly custom fit for something exact, and basically the inside parts, they all slightly shifted. The only thing that fit in the box was the scissors, and I think that was about it, my scissors. But Steve was able to help me out and got my box squared away. Adjusted fire, adapted, we overcame. Let's throw that little red collar back there. There we go. I like that. There's something about the mop. It's just a lot of fun. Once more. Boom. Just like that. A little dab of gluia. Where'd we go? A little bit of the secret sauce. Dun dun dun. Ah, I'm so behind the bell. Totally missed our hackle time again. Yeah. What's your daughter's name, Josh? My apologies. Sorry, I'm slow. I swear it's this staying at home, but it's what we got to do right now. There we go. Now this guy is just ready to fish. I just don't know if I like that lighting. I really wish I could figure out my lighting situation for everybody. I mean, I'm a professional stagehand in my past life, and you know, I could light up a whole stage, but you get things at this level and things get a little difficult. Everything just gets a little hot. There we go. Maybe that's a little bit better. So Maryland is open for fishing May 7th. Yeah, Minnesota bass opener, you know, we call it fishing opener, is this weekend. And things should be a little interesting. Yep, Frank said that we used painted jig heads last time we did these with the Project Healing Waters group. Yep, that was a long time ago, wasn't it? But yeah, so this is on a size 10. You could tie it on a size 8, at least with like your kind of standard mop size body. I've used straight shank hooks, bead, no bead, legs, no legs. Anything you want to do with these, you can do. So, let's see. Lick down, lifted. Lock down, lifted. All right, Bella. This is a special bell just for Bella. There we go. It's hackle time. So how's everybody doing? We're going to just take a quick second and check in. I'm going to read the chat. I know we got about a 20-second delay or so. Let's see. 18, 20. Yeah, we're running at about a 20-25 second delay here between what my system is doing and by the time I get it all the way back onto my iPad, iTouch. I think it's an iTouch. iPod, iTouch, I don't know. iTod? Tide Pod? No. So, yeah, we're doing good. We're doing real good. I'm going to throw it out there. What color should our next mop fly be? We have, where's my options? Kind of know which one I want to do, but I don't want to influence. Let's see here. We can, there's kind of some of our color palette. We got options. We've got orange, purple. We've already done our tan. We've got chartreuse, light blue, dark blue, yellow, flaming hot Cheeto, and pink. Yeah. I got a feeling I know what people are going to say for their pick of their color. It's a pretty popular color. I got a whole bin of them that I've tied in the past. I've got them tied with jig heads. We got some with extra hackle sticking off of the tail. Alright, so we got olive, we got pink, we got blue. Everybody's going to pick a different color, aren't you? Yes, Dave is in the house. Dave, what color do you pick? I'm going to let Dave Coleman, you pick. Got orange chartreuse. Kind of got this flaming hot Cheeto yellow. Josh says blue. I like them all. Dave says chartreuse. I knew it. I knew it. You know why? Fill in the statement, folks. If it ain't chartreuse, it ain't no use. Let's go ahead and get a couple of these guys out. All right. Here we go. Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have some fun with this chartreuse. So I guess we're going to go with the same hook, but I'm going to go with a different bead. Different colored bead. I want to give just a little bit of contrast. So instead of our gold bead, we're going to go with chartreuse, or not a chartreuse. We could go with a chartreuse. Oh, here's another source for these mop body materials. You want to tie a micro mop? This is it. We're going to tie one of these later on, huh? I can tell I've been giving this guy a little bit of a haircut. He was on the top of a pen. And I saw somebody with that and I said, "Oh, I like that. Where can I get that?" She popped the head off and gave it to me. How about that? All right, so anyways, I'm adding a different bead. What we're at 3.2 millimeters. Which is a roughly about an 1/8 inch, 1/8. That's 1/8. We got a few of these left. All right, same trick as before. I roll my bead around into my fingers until I can kind of feel where the top and the bottom of that bead are going to be as far as their large opening versus their small opening. And we're going to go just like that. Bada-boom, bada-bing. All right. All right, same as before. We're going to just start off with our same red thread. Or do we want to go with a black thread? We'll go with our red thread. Why not? Once that's nice and tight, I'll just lay a little thread body, little thread base. And I think by adding this, especially up front, I mean, back here, this is all just for fun. But, you know, that first couple of inch, about that first 1/8 inch, you really want to have a thread base down to give that mop body something to sit on top of as you tie into it. Oh, I heard a tink. I only get a couple of tinks before it goes tunk. So there we go. I like it. All right, we're gonna add a little dab of secret sauce. I said a little dab, just like that. We'll smear that around with our bodkin. Give that thread a fighting chance. Yeah, so coming up soon, coming out, we got I'm going to be making my run, and I'm going to be delivering some hairline dubbin fly tying material kits. I believe it's 48 different materials and hooks. enough to tie 20 different fly patterns. All right, here we go. Chartreuse. Same as before. All right, this is our end. This is going to be our tail end because we can pull on that and it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't fall apart. On this side, everything just comes unraveled. Just take a second and pick at it for just a second. You just want to make sure you get those inner cords exposed because that's what you're tying in. Maybe a little bit shorter. Take just a little bit more off. Just work that right in there. Go back just a little bit. I like that. All right. Let's go with our peacock roll this time. Go back to the peacock roll. One, two, three strands or so, thereabouts. That'll work. Tie those in, tips forward. And the tips you can just pinch and they'll break right off. And we'll twist on our hackle. We'll make a little collar right up front. I'm going to wrap back over top of that. I'm just going to build up that bulk a little bit. It's a mop fly, I'm not scared. There we go. Alright, where are we at here? You know, if we wanted, could just leave it just like that. But I'm not one to just leave things. I want to add hackle. Ooh, this one's pretty. So, let's see, I kind of grabbed in my chartreuse. I got a chartreuse grizzly. I know this mottled. I like this mottled. That's what we're going to go with. And then the other one's just chartreuse, bright chartreuse. So we're going to get in on this. Alright, let's go ahead and prepare this. Just like before, strip that out. Yeah, why not? Good enough. Alright. Just so I don't let Bella down, it's hackle time. Synchronize your watches, ladies and gentlemen. It's hackle time. But wait, there's more. Tie it in by the tip. Make a little V. There we go. See how I got that little V? Right there. And that's where I'm going to tie it in by. It doesn't take much. A couple wraps. Trim off that tip, too easy. Coax these barbules to the rear. And we'll just wrap that once. Wrap that twice. I think that's going to be it. 1, 2. Because if we go continue wrapping, then our hackle is going to get way too big. Oh. We lost our tension. What had happened? Alright, we'll just trim off the remainder of that feather, just like that. Coax all those to the rear. And we'll make just a little red collar. I like that. Alright, whip finish. There you have it. Just like that. One last little dab of insurance policy. Now see this A-dot uni thread that I'm using. It's not a wax thread, not like the Danville's 210 or 70 denier that I like to use. So without having that wax thread, I suppose I could have just waxed it a little bit, but here we are right here, right now, ready to go. Alright. So that is our chartreuse mop. Thanks, Dave. That is fantastic. I'm going to go throw that out at my secret lake. And they are going to go bananas. And it looks like it's on fire. It looks like it's electrified right now, but I can assure you most of that is just the lighting. I can cast enough of a shadow. I mean, I'm almost tying this fly almost in the dark here, because as things get dark, then the camera starts to automatically overcompensate, and next thing you know, it's blowed out. So there's our chartreuse mop. If it ain't chartreuse, it ain't no use. Questions, comments, concerns thus far? Oh, here I am talking to myself. The mute button was on. Oh boy. Alright, so where was I? NC Doc 10 looks easy until I give it a go. Hey, you can do it. Anybody can do it, you can. If I can do it, I've taught some people that you would never believe they would have been able to tie a fly, and at the end of the night, they're tying flies. And then to answer James' question, what type of hook is this? Again, it is a scud hook. Refers to the bend. And this is just a size 10. You could tie this, you know, imagination's your limitation. Your only limitation when it comes to the mop fly. Alright, I'm going to take a quick pause for the cause. Josh, while I am away, I want you to go ahead and think about whether we want, I'll hold them up, light blue or dark blue. Light blue or dark blue. So, dark blue is almost a purplish. But we'll see. Alright, we'll be right back. Quick pause for the cause. I like coffee, what can I say? Alright, we'll be right back, folks. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. You must be Beethoven, because I am Bach. Alright, what did I miss here? I just have to convert everything to left-handed tying. You know, left-handed tying is not the end of the world. The good thing is the world of fly tying, everything is pretty much universal for lefties. Except for the scissors. Honestly, I can't think of any lefty scissors. And you know what? Just for the challenge of it, just for the giggles and grins of it, this is what we're going to do. So, light blue. Josh says light blue. And this is what we're going to do, just for giggles and grins. We're going to tie this lefty. I am not ambidextrous. However, though, I do believe that, you know, sometimes you just have to figure out how to do something with the opposite hand. You know, I remember wrenching on cars. You can't always reach underneath whatever you're working on, or over top, or through, or whatever, at all times with your dominant hand. How many times have you been in a situation where you've had to do something with your opposite hand? So I'm a bona fide righty-tighty kind of guy, and we're going to go with our light blue. We're going to keep this with our size 10, and then after this one, we're going to shrinky-dink it down. We're going to hop down and do pink, and we're going to tie a micro, just because. Why not? Alright, so here's our blue. We got our body, we got our hook. We got to get our hook. And I'm even going to put my bead on like I'm a lefty. I'm going to do everything like I'm a lefty. I'm going to uncap my thing like a lefty. And put my bead on there like I'm a lefty. And I'm going to prove that imagination is your only limitation. Alright. The hook is in the vise. Had my camera kind of set up the opposite way, so don't delay. Alright, here we go. So same thing, right? Whether I'm right-handed or left-handed, I still want to spin this bobbin in that same forward direction. Wait, I just gotta... the problem I encounter when I'm tying... Oh, as I was. I'm going to throw the scissors in the left hand. One of my problems is I lose tension. We introduce slack into the system. And as we all know, slack is evil. We're tying flies. But, I don't know, I just got to take an extra half a second and take my time. So we're tying this lefty. Do not adjust your televisions, ladies and gentlemen. We're attempting this left-handed. There we go. Oh, I still have the little window open. Sorry, guys. Let me go ahead and flip-flop that over. Bink. Thanks, Paul. Alright, so our thread is on. We got a little bit of our thread tag or underbody, if you will. And we're going to add a little dab of our head cement. Some secret sauce. Boop. Whoa, that's too much. Look at that drop ready to drip. I'm doing it all left-handed too. Stop the madness. Yeah, I was chatting with somebody earlier today, and I was talking about, you know, what have I been up to during this quarantine, and, you know, how am I getting through all this? And, you know, I've picked up almost every past hobby I've ever done. And the only one I haven't not done is messed around with my train set, now that I think about it. And I'm just having too much fun with all my other stuff to worry about that right now. Alright. Light blue. So, same as before, since we're tying this left-handed, I just got to make sure I keep the right side facing the right direction. So there's our factory end. And this would be the cut end. And just like if this was a single hair off of a hide, a mop fly hide, body, whatever you want to call it, you just want to trim them off and give yourself the longest amount of material, raw material, because I know, and you guys now know, we're going to lose quite a bit of that fluff and that tail as we strip it down. that's kind of okay. You want to make sure you get all the way down to that inner cord. And look at on this one, it's even white. So it's 2 threads, just like a chenille, twisted together, and then they brought it out, and then with the tension, it twists back up on itself. So that's where we're at with this. That looks pretty good. I'm going to take just a little bit more off. This actually, this almost looks like Marge Simpson's hair. Now I'm just trying to rack my brain on how I can make it look like make a Marge Simpson fly. And I'm gonna just trim these off. Oh, these guys are just a little bit too. I don't feel like fighting them. Right? Don't you see that? I'm not the only one that sees Marge Simpson right now. I know I can't be. Am I a tool maker? No, I am not a tool maker. David Coleman, Dave makes my hand tools, and Steve Hartman makes fly tying workbenches. And he actually made a custom box that I actually use to travel with. But I am not a machinist by any stretch of the imagination. I am an imaginist. I imagine things. That's my specialty. All right. Ha ha ha. Do 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 do. Oh, I don't think you guys are ready for this. This is gonna blow some of yours minds. So we've been messing around with this peacock curl this whole time. Well, here we go. We got some yellow ostrich. And that stuff is a lot stronger than the peacock, so we're gonna actually trim this off. All right, so I guess since we're going forward, we're going to want to spin this counterclockwise, right? Yeah. I love tying flies. I don't care. I'm having fun tonight. Little Marge Simpson inspiration there. Yeah, it's a sick one. And I'm doing it left-handed. I bet you... No, I guess Marge is a righty. Who's the left-handed character on The Simpsons? Pop quiz. Who was the left-handed character? He actually had a full episode dedicated. He opened up a store just for the lefties. Let me pull this up. I need to see a picture of Marge Simpson. What is she? She's got a. I think she's got a pearl. Is she wearing pearls? Oh, she doesn't have pearls. What does she have for a necklace? Or around her shirt? She's got red. Ah, she does have a red necklace. Marge Simpson's wears a red necklace, red bead necklace, or something like that. So, can I do it? Can I do it? I don't know. Here we go. Oh, what's Marge's sister's? What's her name's? Oh, there's two of them. They're twins. I'm gonna have to use my hackle pliers on this one. Hey Josh, let me ask you, since you picked the light blue, let me ask you, are you a Simpsons fan? I'm gonna have to give this one to you. All right. So here comes the real deal. So this is it. Left-handed whip finish. Can I do it? Can I do it? Where? Thing is I'm a little. There we go. A little out of practice. Because when I'm out at Project Healing Waters and we're out at the VA and a lefty walks in the door and wants to learn how to whip finish, well, gotta figure it out somehow. So I always go like this, but I watched a video of Davey McPhail. He went under. And I don't, or was it Davey McPhail? It was the featherbender, Barry Ord Clark. And it's one of those things that's 6-1, half a dozen. Doesn't really matter which side as far as end results. So there you have it. Oh! Bump the camera. There you have it. I'm going to call that the Marge Simpson. Well, I'll hook you up with some materials to tie. We'll have some stuff. So that's calling that the Marge Simpson. The Marge Simpson mop. Gotta have fun with it, right, folks? If you're not having fun tying flies, I just honestly don't think you're doing it right. Alright, so we're gonna reset our vise back to righty. Yeah, I absolutely love my Regal Vice. It's what I got my start on, and I haven't turned back. Haven't looked anywhere else either. I see the full rotary vices and this and that, the Renzettis, the Peak Travelers and whatnots, but not my cup of tea. But that's all right. What's good for me is good for me. And ID, it'd have to have hackle pliers mess. You gotta have hackle pliers. And they come in different shapes, different sizes. I like these ones with the big pads, and this was actually the hackle pliers that came, I believe, in my uh, beginner kit. So these are probably my oldest hackle pliers that I've ever had since new. And I've got a whole bunch of other hackle pliers, but this right here, the little hook and hackle lead clip grabber, little plunger style, pretty good. You don't want to pull on that because it'll just come out. A lot of people build little display things for those where they, what am I trying to say? Words. The collar from Marge is yellow and red emu. That's all. That's all I did. Just yellow and red emu. Once I got the yellow on there, and I kind of started to look like, really started to look like Marge's face, and then I knew she wore a necklace, and I looked online and saw that she's got a red necklace. So, all right, let's continue on. I'm gonna step it down a notch. We're gonna put this in our little shrink-a-dink machine, and we're gonna get some small hooks out. Let's take this down from a size 10. 18 maybe? Yeah, we'll go with an 18. So we stepped from a size 10 to a size 18. We're just having fun. You all get the general concept on how to tie these, right? You can scale this up and you can scale this down depending on the size. And actually what we're going to do here is we're going to close that tab, and we're going to see about zooming in just a touch more. How's that? All right. Looks all right. Well, we need to go in just a little bit more. That's fine. All right, so this is a size 18 scud hook. And with that, we're going to have to scale our beads to the appropriate size. Where we go? We're going to go back to these gold ones. These 18 to 20s. 2.0. 2.0. No TV except for gun smoke. Alright, same deal. This is a 4, and we missed. Roll it. I just roll it around in my fingers until I find that sweet spot where I know where if I just let gravity be my friend, my bestest friend, we'll get through this. All right. I'm gonna go for that super long one. I'm gonna go. There you go. This guy's getting a little haircut. Alright, so same as before. Since we stepped it down considerably, I'm gonna switch from my A-dot thread. And we're gonna switch, we're gonna scale this down to my 14. This is, yep, that's 14-aught. This spool is significantly smaller than my other spools, quite a bit, and I just don't feel like constantly going back and forth adjusting, so I just have a dedicated spool just for this bobbin. Same as before though. Start off with a little red thread base. We'll work that to the rear. Down to that bend just a little bit. And like that. It snaps. Let's try this again. Alright, I'm not going to lose any sleep. There we go. Yellow's hanging out from earlier. I was going to go back over that once more. Park it up front. Here we go. Alright, little dab of insurance policy. Oh yeah, scissors or Dr. Slicks. I'll just absorb right in there. Alright. Dr. Slick. I bounce between these and the razors. I like the razors for their sharpness. I like when I'm really getting into some detail and whatnot. All right, let's get this little mop body tied in there. Alright, same as before. We have to start stripping this back, stripping this down, because we got to get to those inner fibers, inner threads. I like that. It's almost like a little squirmy wormy. Sure it stays on top. We'll just wrap that in there. You know me, I always like to go a couple wraps behind or underneath. Let's go. Just blow everybody's minds. Here's some chartreuse. Emu. Turn it in by the tips. death thread again. I'm not used to using tiny thread like this. A dot is not my... You know what? Maybe 14 is just a little bit too small for us right here, right now. I've got a white. There we go. This is 12 on. Smaller than an 8, but not bigger than a little bit bigger than a 14. There we go. This is going to be fun. Yeah, it does look like Sideshow Bob. Boy, we got a lot of Simpsons reference in here tonight, don't we? That's alright. Wait, we gotta get this back in there still. Alright. This is gonna be fun. Take your time. Alright, so we're almost to that point where we can start talking about what do we want to tie next week. What's on the menu? Oh, I know what I wanted to tie next week. We haven't tied these in a while. Some Timberwolves. Why did I have those? I'll put a couple of those up here in a minute. Oh, this is fantastic. I'm just loving it already. And yeah, we'll just send it. Send it with a whip finish. Oh my gosh. I didn't realize how bright that was on the camera. What's that, Baba Louie? Do I eat moose? No, I have not. I've not had a moose. Not that I know of. Have I had a moose burger? Or I don't know. I don't think I've had a moose steak. I've made mistakes. I've never had a moose steak. So there we go. It works. I wouldn't be opposed to eating moose, I suppose. Are they tasty? I don't know. I like this little guy. That's so much fun. All right, let's go back to normal size, adult size, grown-up size mop flies. Ooh, I found a bead. We'll put those 18s away, and we'll get our 10s back. Oh, I would know it. Yeah, maybe. I haven't been to moose territory, I don't think. Not too much. Alright, we're back to that size, whatever this is, 10. Size 10, and... Oh, what color did I want to go with on this next one? Oh yeah, I wanted to do this one. This is the color I wanted to do. We're gonna surprise you. I personally, you know, it's interesting because my secret lake I can say my secret lake used to have a used to have a high school across the street, but the high school is closed now. That just means I'm not going to have some rotten little kids walking behind me while I'm fishing, while they're out there for their gym class. I mean, I don't know. You see somebody at a lake and they're fishing, and is this the no? This is the 3.8. Oh, I wanted to go smaller. 3.2. Felt too big. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate that. Joe says, looks great. I like the emu collar. Appreciate it. We'll go back to that 3.2 millimeter. Ouch! That's sharp. 3.2 millimeter bead. 1/8 inch. Thereabouts. Not an exact conversion. Metric, imperial units, whatevers. There's our bead. Alright, so I think we gotta go back to the red. I think the red's gonna be the winning golden ticket on this one. Alright, we'll start our thread up front. And just like we do before, and the time before that, and the time before that. We're gonna just lay a little red thread base. If you join the 22 club, that's it's quite impressive. So if people don't know what the 22 club is, I'm just going to go out on a limb here and presume that I know what I'm talking about when I say that he caught a 22-inch, presumably trout, on a size 22 fly. Or on a size 22 hook, rather. And the only way you can catch a 22-inch trout on a 22-inch or size 22 hook is you actually have to do it. And let's see here. So just for reference, this is a... So we have a size 10 in the vise. Right? Yeah, they're kind of stuck together. Here's one. That's a size 20. That's a size 20 hook. And that's not, there's no perspective. Those are nice and even. So that's a size 10 and a size 20 hook. And they make them smaller. A German brown. Hey, Pookie. What's up? Thanks for tuning in. Well, the size 22s are somewhere. They're in the old mustads or the old partridge. We're going to continue on with this one. We are at the little dab of insurance policy. I tell you what, a trout that I have not caught yet, and I would just love to still, is a brook. I have not caught a brookie or a coaster or a steelhead. I've got the Montana native cutthroat and the Yellowstone cutthroat. And then the rainbows, and the browns there. Here in Minnesota, I've only caught rainbow, and it was a stocked rainbow, so stock rainbow trout in the river or the lake. So I'm not losing too much about it. So let's see. You don't know anything about fishing. I'm a city boy, but watching and learning is always fun. Yeah, you know, this is art. I consider fly tying as a functional art, and it's all about having fun. And you're a city boy, right? Pookie says he's a city boy. And what else would you find at an urban fishing hole? You find trash. You find garbage. And one of the things I find a lot of garbage of, flaming hot Cheeto bags. Look at this. You tell me that does not look like a flaming hot Cheeto. I mean, it's got that little, it's just that deep, dark yumminess to it. It's flaming, it's hot. We're going to tie this down. We're going to strip this down off of the back end. Yeah, we don't have any super chats on this channel yet. I was thinking about that. I was like, you know, when that time comes, do I monetize on All Tied Up Fly Tying School YouTube channel again? Because I used to. Way back in the day, he didn't need 1,000 subscribers to do jack. He only needed 500. We hit that a long time ago, and then one day, I woke up, and YouTube said, oh yeah, by the way, Aaron, you are no longer allowed to monetize or live stream from your mobile device. I'm like, what the heck? But there we are. Oh, we are having fun. Now with this orange, oh, that's gonna look at that. You know what I could do? What if I? Oh, this is gonna be epic. Stop the madness. We're gonna do this. We're gonna double it. If one mop is good, then two is gonna be even better. This is gonna be like almost like a mop worm, because Cheetos are a little bit longer. We're gonna tie this in facing forward, and we're gonna end up with a nice long. Oh, this is gonna be like a big soggy, flaming hot Cheeto fly. Grab that, pull that up and tight. Yes. Yes. Oh my goodness. This is like the mix between a flaming hot Cheeto, a San Juan worm, and a mop fly. Alright, so I need to cover that up somehow with something. What can I cover that up with? Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Remember all these little bits that I've been stripping off? I'm going to just kind of break those down just a little bit more. And I am going to add that onto my thread as a dubbing. So hopefully, in theory, this should just kind of disappear and blend right in. Oh man. You saw it here, folks. You saw it here first. Can it be contained? What's that, you ask? The madness. It cannot. Alright, let's dub this on in 3D. Little dubbing wax, little dubbing wax, little dubbing wax. Little dabble W. Alright. Get all the junk cleaned out. All right, here goes nothing. I'll just stick that onto that thread, and we're gonna just leave that at that. We're gonna see what happens here. Oh, so. So I know I promised you guys mop flies, and here we are with flaming hot Cheetos, but the sentiment is just the same. Oh, man, I don't know how this even happened, but it happened. And just like that, we have a thing. Oh, man. Well, what do you think, boys and girls? That is a flaming hot Cheeto. Oh, stop the madness. Can it be contained? I don't know. Oh, so there you have it. That's the flaming hot Cheeto mop fly sandworm worm. I don't know. All I could do is just laugh. Oh, we're having a good time. All right, let's do another one, and then we'll call her done. What are we gonna tie next week? Oh yeah, the JDK or JDK Timberwolves, or the Timberwolf. See, I'm the only person I know in the world that can have something in my hands for like 30 seconds. I set it down once. And like that. Gone. Oh well. Let's tie one more. And then, yeah, we're going to do Timberwolves next week. No idea where that went. Oh well. Here we go. One more. Am I going to be at the concert tonight? Yeah, I hope so. I absolutely hope so. Have we started? Oh, we got to pop that over. Back to that one. All right. Is that wolf or wolf? Oh, yeah. Are you thinking like a royal wolf? Wolf? A wolf? We could probably do that. No, a timber. No, timber wolf, like the Minnesota Timberwolves. Timberwolves. Oh. Oh. But there is a wolf. Like oh, what's her name? Joan Wolf. My brain is about done braining for the day. What can I say? One more. So, my wonderful wife is so awesome. She's watching this in the other room, and I just heard myself howl. A gear review. What's a gear review? Review the gears? Grinding the gears. Grind it till you find it. Alright, let's set that Cheeto off to the side. Alright. And we need our bead. Let's go. Let's go with the gold. 3.2 millimeter, or approximately about an 1/8 inch. Or 1/8 inch, approximately 3.2 millimeters. There, now we can see a little bit better. Sometimes my camera just does its own thing. Alright, we'll go back to our red A-dot, because we're back to that size 10 hook. And I can pull on this a lot more. Alright, we'll work this down. Into the bend. Take your time. We're not looking for too pretty. This isn't a showpiece fly by any means. You're not going to tie a nice mop fly and go show all your friends bragging about it. Like I said, mop flies are like the mopeds, right? They work, they're fun, but it's not exactly something you go to brag everybody about. I don't know. I love the mop fly. I think they got a bad rep. Secret sauce, where'd you go? A little Dabaglio. Oh yeah, this is absolutely therapeutic for me. Like I said at the very beginning, so I do this every Wednesday right now for my Project Healing Waters veterans. We're a bunch of disabled veterans recovering, or not even necessarily, it's not even about recovering, but just coming together, healing. We heal together through the art of fly tying and fly fishing. I prefer to go barbless on everything. In my humble opinion, barbs are for bait. And I am a fly angler. I fancy myself one at least. I'm terrible at fishing. But the fish I lose are not on account of the barbs. It's typically due to my own ways. Either that or my wife is with me and she outfishes me. Which is the case too quite often. Alright, so here we go. We're going to go with another chartreuse one. Just because they happen to be out. I once tied a mop with three mop bodies, and it was a triop. Yeah, I mean, this is relaxing. It's relaxing to do. My best friend called me one day. I did a live stream on Instagram, and he goes, "Hey man, thanks for helping putting the kid to sleep." It's like, what? I'm putting kids to sleep now? I should charge extra. I'll work that back just a little bit. Ooh, ooh, ooh. This is for you, Frank. Here we go. Here's some rubber legs. This is my rubber legs that I was using came off a skirt. And it had these chartreuse ones, and it also had the blue ones, which were for the popper I tied the other day. Earlier last week, or late last week, whenever that was. Alright, do I leave it like that? I think I do. We're going to shorten those legs up just a little bit, but... Where do I put those? gonna bullet everything back. Yeah. And maybe no peacock. We'll add a little bit of dubbing again, and this is gonna be olive ice dub. And what do we know about dubbing? A little dabble dub, yeah. First we'll wax our line a little bit. And there we go. Still gonna do a little collar in there. And this is, like I said at the very beginning, you can tie your mop flies 1,000,001 different ways. Imagination is your only limitation when it comes to mop flies. This is how I'm tying them here tonight. It is by no means the be-all end-all of all mop flies. Although that flaming hot Cheeto wood was pretty dang cool. Alright, let's tie this in. Let's get some more legs. Oh yeah. Fake virus, that's what it looks like. Yeah. Alright. Couple turns with this. The barbs. It's one of the things I gotta catch myself. I always end up calling barbs fibers, and it's not a fiber, it's a barb. It's a barbule. And words have meanings, and I think we should call things for what they are. And if it's not a fiber, it's a barb. I don't know. What do you guys think? Are barbs fibers? Or is a barb a barb? Our rhubarb's coming up, I know that much. Tell you that for free. I know Wendy at the Hayward fly shop in Wisconsin makes a heck of rhubarb bars. I was there for a fishing trip, and it was catered lunch, and Wendy, I'm not 100% confident if she's co-owner, part owner, whatever of the fly shop, but she's in it to win it there. She's awesome. Made some good stuff. Pookie says, I don't know what any of this means. Well, you know what? Neither do we. We forgot to do our hackle time. Oh, we're just making flies for fly fishing. I'm just kind of jibber jabbering, like I always do. This is gonna be a good fly. This is gonna be a great little muffin. We're gonna trim these legs right about there. Yeah, buddy. Ho 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 ho. A bebop, a rhubarb pie. I kind of miss that show, that Prairie Home Companion. It was always quite the entertaining program. But things change and shows get canceled, I guess. I guess Garrison Keillor is kind of a... Wasn't he... He got in trouble for harassing women or something? I don't know the full details, but... Alright, that's a fun little chartreuse bugger. Bada boom, bada bing. We are at... Oh, pumpkin pie too. That sounds good. Oh, I want some pie. So there you have it. That's a fun little green olive chartreuse happiness. Bump that back down just a little bit. All right. Ah, Frank. Yeah, I always think of you with those legs. Every time I tie odd legs, I always think of gotta think of Frank. There we go. Put this up just a little bit. There we go. All right. Well, I guess that's gonna be it for now. Well, we call it a... Okay, so for Pookie, who knows nothing about fly fishing, the reason why we call it a fly is because traditionally what we would do is tie a fly or tie material on a hook to imitate a specific insect, a fly. And some can look more like something in particular, like a caddis. That's where those flies went. They're with those, and I don't know where those ones are. Here we go. So we call it a fly because traditionally, when we're not tying with bathroom material / car wash material, mop materials, we'll come up with something like this that represents the caddis fly. And that would be this would be a dry fly. And then we have something that represents, and here's a terrestrial, which I guess is just smashing right now in Japan. Ants. Ants are just on fire right now in Japan. But if that's just if they can get to their water, they're taking their staying home pretty serious. But yeah, in a general sense, we call everything a fly in my world. Even if it's like this, something like this. This is a big kind of minnow. It's got all sorts of stuff, but could this be a beginner's channel? Absolutely. I've got all sorts of stuff on playlists and yeah. Okay, well, I think we're gonna wrap it up. We got 2 after 8. We're gonna get at it. Joe says real quick, this was awesome. It reminds me when I first started tying after I got a vise, tied 24 hours straight and then fell asleep. Thanks. Say hi to Mr. X. Oh yeah. That the top secret egg pattern. That's a good fly. I can see it. It's up on the wall. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna leave it at that. Next week we're gonna be tying Timberwolves. Timberwolf variations, thereabouts. Alright, we'll catch everybody later. Happy tying. Tight lines. Peace.